Greetings and welcome back to LA Quill, where we explore the craft, the calling, and the quiet chaos of storytelling. Today we're talking about something that almost every writer dreams of at some point: becoming a professional writer. What does it really mean to make it as a writer? How do you start? And maybe, most importantly, how do you stay in love with the craft even when it's hard? And it will be hard. It seems like everyone wants to be a writer these days. Children filling notebooks with dragons and secret kingdoms, teenagers crafting stories on Wattpad or Reddit, adults daydreaming about the one novel they've always wanted to finish someday. And honestly, it's beautiful. But being a professional writer, turning that dream into something that sustains you, well, that's another world entirely. Every professional writer starts in the same place, with a dream, a story, a spark. But not everyone makes it across the bridge between dreaming and doing. And honestly, that's okay. Because that bridge, it's not built out of luck and talent alone. It's built out of persistence, honesty, and a lot of stubborn love for the written word. So, why do you want to be a writer? Is a good question to ask yourself. It's really the first and maybe the hardest question you'll ever ask yourself. Why do you want to write professionally? Not just as a hobby, not just as something you do after work in the evenings, but why do you want to do this? If your answer is fame or money or glory, well, I'm going to just be blunt. There are easier ways to get all three, and being a writer is probably not going to be it. Most writers don't make bestseller money ever, okay? It's just not a thing that happens very often. I know we can all name a few authors who make big money, but can you name any from the tier down? No, but we've all read them, and there are hundreds of thousands of writers around the world who make a full-time income but are not rolling in money, okay? Authors also don't typically get stopped in the grocery stores. They don't have publishers begging them for their next book unless you are a real high-profile author. The truth is, writing as a profession is rarely glamorous. It's often solitary and sometimes frustrating and occasionally downright discouraging. So why do it at all? And I'll be honest, typically the reason you do it is because you can't not do it. Because writing feels like breathing. Because even on days when the words don't come easily or at all, something deep inside you still wants to try. And that's the real heart of it. You write because you love it. Because it fills you. It stretches you. It heals you. Because it lets you make sense of the world, or maybe to escape it entirely. If you wake up thinking about words, if stories whisper to you in the quiet hours of the night, if you feel that tug to put pen to paper no matter what else is going on in your life, then yes, you might be a writer in your bones. But are you a professional writer? Because that's a different category. So, let's think about another question you have to ask yourself. Because once you've answered the why, it's time to explore the what. Because if you're going to be a professional writer, the what matters just as much as the why. A lot of new writers immediately jump to novels, and that's wonderful. That is what I love the most. Fiction is the heartbeat of the imagination, and it has a special place in my heart. But if your goal is to make a living as a writer, it's important to broaden your view. I didn't start making money by writing novels. I started by writing articles on the internet. So there's a whole world of professional writing beyond novels that if you want to be a professional writer, you have to become aware of. And many of those paths, many of them can actually help support your dream of writing fiction. We all want to write a novel. Many of us have. But the bread and butter of being a professional writer is typically not going to be novel work, at least not at the beginning. Freelance writing, for instance, is one of the best ways to get started. Online platforms can help you get your first paid work. It's not glamorous. It's just not. But it builds skill and discipline and a real understanding of how to meet deadlines and write for different audiences. Under various pen names, I have had articles published in magazines, but that's not where I started. I've written for the local papers. I've written a couple articles for papers that are not local at all. But that's not where I started. I started, like so many people do, with quick, easy articles online. And you get paid. And I started when online writing was just in its infancy. There are many more options available today. So no, it's not glamorous, but these things build skill, discipline, and a real understanding of how to meet deadlines and write for your audience. If you can't write for your audience, writing a novel is never going to work out. So get some experience. There are also things like ghostwriting, editorials, ebooks, short stories. All of these can become a part of your professional portfolio. You might not be writing your own fantasy worlds every single day, but you'll be writing. And that's the point. Because to be a professional writer, you have to write. Otherwise, you're just dreaming. I know it sounds obvious, like saying you have to breathe to live. But it's amazing how many people dream of being writers and never actually write anything. They wait for the right time, the right inspiration, the right confidence. But the truth is, writing is the thing that creates all of that. You have to do the writing to be a writer. You don't become a writer after you've written something. You become a writer because you write. Now, you become a professional writer when you get paid. But you are just a writer if you put pen to paper or fingers to keyboard. So now what about motivation? Because motivation is fickle. I'm going to be honest. If you're going to be a professional writer, you can't rely on motivation. It comes and it goes like the weather. What keeps professionals going isn't motivation, it's momentum. The secret is consistency, even if it's just a paragraph a day. Even if it's one good sentence, one great piece of dialogue. Build the habit of showing up, because the more you write, the easier it becomes to trust that you'll find the words when you need them. And deadlines don't care about your motivation. They don't care if you don't feel like it. If you're going to be a professional writer, you're going to have deadlines. And yes, some days will be awful. Some days you'll stare at the screen and wonder why you ever thought you could do this. That's normal. Every writer I know, from beginners to seasoned authors, have those days. But if you love writing enough to push through them, you'll start to see progress in ways that surprise you. And here's the thing about getting started professionally. You don't have to wait for someone else's permission. You don't need a publisher to validate your work anymore, or an agent to declare that you're ready. You can start today, right where you are, by writing something worth reading. Post a short story. Pitch an article. Publish a blog. Sell a piece of flash fiction. Submit to an anthology. Get something out there for people to actually read. The moment that you put your work out into the world and you get paid for it, even if it's just a little bit, you've taken your first real step into the world of professional writing. But we should talk about something that's a little bit uncomfortable. The balance between art and money. We all want to make money, and we all want to be expressing our art when we do so. We don't want to have to write what we don't want to write. For many writers, this is where the dream starts to wobble. You might love fantasy. I do. That's my bread and butter. You might love poetry. Maybe you love deep personal essays. But those things don't always pay the bills. That doesn't mean you give them up. It means you get creative about how you support them. You could do freelancing or editing or content creation. All these can fund your fiction while you grow your craft and your audience. There's no shame in writing for hire. Don't let anyone tell you there is. The words you write hone your skills. Even if they're not words you necessarily wanted to write, you're still honing your skills while you do them. Every project builds discipline. And in the process, you learn something essential. That being a writer isn't about what you write. It's about the act of writing itself. So, what does it take to be a professional writer? It takes honesty. about your reasons, your goals, and your limits. It takes adaptability, the willingness to try new forms and find your niche. And it takes an unshakable love for the written word. You're never going to make it otherwise. If you truly want this, not the fame, not the glamour, but the life, you'll find a way. I did. You can too, if you want it. The road is not easy. It will be a long time before you're able to say, I make full-time income from writing, and maybe you never will. Maybe it'll only be a side hustle. That's okay too. It's okay to just write. But if you want to be a professional, you got to find a way to make money off of it, even if it's just a little bit. So, see if it works out for you. Is it worth it? It's not worth it for everyone. Some people simply do not want to write what they don't want to write. Because there will be times when, in order to make money from your writing, you have to pen what you are not liking. I have written articles that I would just rather not. I don't write anything against my morals or anything like that, but sometimes I don't really want to write that article about a local event for the newspaper, but it's going to put money in my pocket. So you do it. You have to decide if it's worth being a writer enough to do that. To write what you don't want to write so you can write what you love. Only you can make that choice. And that's our tale from L.A. Quill today. Tell me in the comments, what first made you fall in love with writing? Was it a story, a world, or maybe just a single line that changed everything for you? I'd love to hear about it. Until next time, may your stories always be magical.